And welcome back in, my friend. Hope you're having a great time getting ready for the next game. Canada taking on Uruguay, and you could say Colombia taking on Argentina. And also, we got a little tidbit at the end. Yes, I'm going to talk a little bit about Euro 2024, España taking on Inglaterra, or England taking on Spain. So I'll touch that towards the end. You'll like that too, and I'm not pulling a punch on that. I'll tell you now. Stick around for that one. So there's a tidbit to finish with. But for now, it's the Copa America final. Argentina taking on Colombia. Argentina, number 1 in the world. Colombia, number 12. This is going to be a massive game. And if you look at the stats, what we're going to go through pretty shortly, it does tell a big story. So welcome in to the Copa del America final. And on this one, we're going to cover straight away the fallout from the post-game from Canada taking on Argentina. Got some big questions just for you. You're going to love that. Some really juicy questions just for you. Also going to cover the Canada taking on Uruguay. Third place finish. I said I didn't want to cover a third place game ever. Well, this one you have to. It's Canada, and you got to suck it up, princess, and you're going to cover the third place game. Of course I am. But you know I don't normally do that. So Canada, 48 in the world, taking on Uruguay, 14th in the world. Third place game preview coming up soon. Then we're going to talk about Darwin, bad boy, punch your face in, NUNEZ, kicking into the crowd, kicking it off in the crowd, kicking it with fans instead of kicking it on the field. Amazing. I've got a video for you, and I'm going to talk about Darwin NUNEZ MMA possibilities, per se, after we talked about a few other things too. We're also going to talk about Colombia taking on Argentina. Colombia 12th in the world. Argentina numero uno in the world. And that's the Copa del America final coming up on this weekend. Oh yeah, check your listings because you could be anywhere in the world. And then to finish and to shut it down before we say adieu, we're going to talk about England and Spain, Inglaterra y España from Berlin in Deutschland for the Euro 2024 final title. I'm going to talk about that. And I said I wouldn't talk any Euros. I'm going to, because a lot of people have said, Steve, please. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you my best for that final two. So that's what we got. Stick around. This is not going to be short. This is going to be long. This is going to be full of great stuff. So I've got a lovely bunch of questions to fire at you to get you thinking about this Copa America. And didn't I say before this all started off what a great competition we would have? And I think, to be honest with you, I'm right that Copa America was indeed a better tournament overall than Euro 2024. That's why I tout Copa America so highly, and I have watched so many. This being the 48th, and in 2028, that'll be the 49th, because the World Cup is coming in 2026. Now, a couple of questions to launch at you. Who is your player of the tournament, whether that be for Canada or whether it be for another country? Who's the player of the tournament? Who really does do it for you? So there's the first one. Second one, you're going to love this one. The refereeing. What is your take on the refereeing? I don't care what you say. You can absolutely comment about anything, good, bad, or ugly, about the refereeing too, yeah? But the comments are wide open. You don't get blocked and you don't get banned. I don't ban people. I'll have a word before you if it's really crazy. But all I say is don't drop the F-bombs. That's just really not cool, yeah? That's not what we do here. But you can say anything you want. So be articulate with your gesturing about the referees and tell me what you think. Another one for you, and this one hits home. Canada. Copa America. How happy are you? And how do you rate this all time for Team Canada? Where's your heart saying? What's your brain saying? What are you thinking about what this was about? Where we started from, how we finished. Yeah, two games that started pretty much mirror image on the scoreline, 2-0 against Argentina, but two very different games. One, we weren't in it completely. The second one, yeah, we really did stand at the test against Argentina. Who's your Canadian player of the tournament? That's really another one I want to know. Who is your Canadian player of the tournament? Is it Croupeau? Is it Jonathan David? Is it Schaffelberg, who's been a revelation? Absolutely unbelievable. Cornelius doesn't get any praise, but man, oh man, you got to say, think about him and how well he's played. Bombito, another good player. You know, a couple of years ago, we were all looking up to the likes of Jonathan David and, you know, Alistair Johnson, Kyle Larin, and then Tajon Buchanan made a trip abroad. I think we're going to see quite a few more Canadians get into European big teams because I tell you now, when you see quality, you see quality. I think personally one of the biggest guys that stepped up was Bombito. Who do you think was the player of the tournament for Canada? Who stepped up for you and how well did you enjoy this? I got to tell you. Let me know down below. Moving along. I tell you what, it doesn't get much better. It doesn't get any better, but it could get better, but it didn't get better. What am I talking about? Well, we're talking about Canada 48 taking on Uruguay 14 for the third place game. Like I told you, I didn't want to talk about, and I'm talking about it right now. One interesting piece of news, and I've got to go online to read off exactly what is on this. So you're going to get me reading now. I did go to school for a couple of days. Anyway, I'm talking about NUNEZ. We're going to see the video straight after this, so we're going to talk about this in depth. And I want you to know I'm going to be talking about NUNEZ when we get there here pretty soon. And you may well be surprised what I say. In fact, some of you might think, what the hell? Anyway, why is NUNEZ allowed to play against Canada? That's what you want to know. Why is he allowed to play? In layman terms, I've read it. I'll tell you what I say. It says in short terms. Basically, the investigation at the moment is inconclusive. You're going to see a video which may or may not make it inconclusive, but you will see a picture, a photo, a image that certainly does. Keep it here because that's what we're going to show you right next. But here's the deal. Online, on the news, it says, it says NUNEZ can play in the Copa America third place playoff as the investigation into the ordeal has yet to deliver a conclusive verdict. Bear in mind, there are many, many videos out there from different angles. If you go online, go to YouTube and check out some of the NUNEZ punch-up with the fans, you can see what's going on, and he is going berserk. But I'll tell you what I think in a minute. As for the game, listen, I'm not going to get nuts and bolts on you. I'm not going to get stats and stits. No stories, just the basic logic on this one. Both teams, game 6, unfortunately not in the final. A third place bragging rights. Okay, it's okay to finish third, not a problem. It doesn't matter if you lose this one. It really doesn't, because for Canada's sakes, the teams that Canada's gone up against will help them in the rankings, no doubt about it. So that's the first thing in the bank for Canada. If they do happen to win, which they can, because I'll tell you what, that last game for Uruguay took a lot out of them. Not so much with Canada. And Canada keep coming back. And after the way Canada went into the press and say we need to deepen the squad with the CPL and everything else, I think that's great stuff for Canadian soccer. When you hear the players yearning for more to come through, I think it's kind of funny in a way, because you keep getting better people coming in the team, fellas. You won't be in it. Think about that one, Stevie, before you say that. But as for NUNEZ, he's going to be allowed to play because the investigation is inconclusivo. So there you go. I personally think now, I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but I am laughing in a way because there's a guy here, that fella there, number 17, yeah, number 17. When you watch the video, you're going to see number 17 deliver an absolute crushing right bash hook to what looks like NUNEZ's head. Because all of a sudden, NUNEZ, who's charging through the crowd, and look closely, but NUNEZ, who's charging through the crowd, and like, look behind me, there's NUNEZ right there. Look for that in the video. Look for the people around him, and they're charging towards the yellow Colombian fans. It's just a charge. But when NUNEZ gets flattened by number 17 up there, they go nuts. You see them go even more fervid. So that's what I'm saying. NUNEZ goes in the crowd. But that fella up there, I tell you, what a crushing blow. Looking for that on the video. So you saw the video, yeah? And play it back again and again. It's difficult to see, but you can see NUNEZ going berserk. There's another thing I want to point out is that policewoman right there. I tell you what, she got flattened. Go back and have a look at the video because she gets flattened by by Uruguay fans coming in from that side, flattened right over her. And this guy, yeah, he got flattened too. Go back and have a look at it, but they all got flattened. But NUNEZ there, I tell you what, there's Mr. NUNEZ right there. That's Darwin going berserk. Does that face look like a guy who's controlled and relaxed, or does it look like a guy who's in for a mega punch up? And he's going to kick your ass. And he's hitting people he doesn't even know. That's the absolute definition, meaning of hooligan, okay? That's what it is. So he's in there being a hoolie with other hoolies, and the other hoolies are around him, the Uruguay fans. When they see one of their players in the crowd going nuts, punching and whatever, that makes them go even nuttier. It's like a drug, and it forces them to go frenzied and go nuts. Now, do I think it was right? Do I think it was wrong? Here's the deal. The first thing I say is this. He should not be playing in the final. I don't think he should be in the final at all. I think when you act like that, you got to be banned immediately. Where's the problem finding it inconclusive? Do they not see what that image says? Do they not see what the images have said? Or the videos online that millions of people have seen? Well, CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, US hosts, US law, international law. You're all condoning it. Now, I say he should be banned. I don't think he should be in the final. And Canada would have an advantage. You, as a Uruguay fan, would be like, shut up. But if you really think about it, when have you ever seen an international football match like that, where the team goes in the crowd like that? You've never seen that, ever. So he should be banned. There's no doubt about it. The other side of the story is this, okay? Although he should be banned, this is going to really F with your head. Although he should be banned, what did he do so bad? Nobody got killed. As far as I know, I don't know if there's any people that needed treatment after it. It was a lot of high spirits pushing and shoving, frenzied spirits that started off apparently with drinks being thrown, etc. So, it went from an innocent situation where Uruguay's gone over to the crowd to say thank you, and it overspilled and got out of hands. And high spirits really got to take it to a level that it shouldn't have got to. But again, how bad was it? Yeah. Are we making more out of this than we should be? Or are we right to be on it and say, no. This just doesn't happen. Now you've seen it. Now you see what I think. Either way of the equation, was it that bad? Or was it absolutely the worst thing you've seen from an international player that you've ever watched? And how long should the ban be? Should it be like a bad red card, 3 games? FIFA's going to act. They're going to have to. That card has been pulled on them. They got to come and look at it. CONMEBOL will have to rule. It could be pretty heavy. It could be, in my opinion, on this one, for the severity of what's happened here, could it be a season ban? Could it be a ban of, say, 3 months? Do you think 3 months fits the bill? 6 months? Does that sound more like it, maybe? So that other people don't get the thought of doing what he did? So you're going to use him as an example of what you get when you do this. So 3 months maybe, 6 months probably, a season ban, and a massive fine. And he will not be allowed to play for his club. That's another point. So how far is this going to go? After Copa America, after the final, we'll find out. But yeah, pretty serious. Now, let's take a quick look at Colombia taking on Argentina in the final. I've got some beautiful stats for you. Really do. And hey, Poets of the Week, big up to you. I hope you enjoyed that one. Darwin Núñez, bad boy. Now we're going to talk Colombia taking on Argentina in the Copa America final, starting with champions Argentina, numero uno, defending world champions, defending Copa America champions. I tell you what, Mr. Scaloni, the coach, is this going to be the third big trophy back-to-back as well for Copa? But they're defending champions. How many times have they been in the final, you ask yourself? Well, that's quite easy. It's 30 times This time, they've won 15 and they've lost 14. So it's a 50-50 swivel to see what goes and what doesn't come into the trophy cabinet for Argentina. But they get to the finals, and that's the point. How many times have they got to the final? I just told you. How many games are they unbeaten? 10. Right now, they're 10 games unbeaten. The last loss was November 16th, 2023, and that was Uruguay. Top players in this game. If you don't know Argentina, I'll tell you a few of the big names that I expect to feature in this game. Remember, I'm checking off the board because this has all been collated for us to listen to and to gather stories for you to say, hey, I don't agree with that, or I do. Down below, I've got to tell Stevie something. Bang, down below. Anything. And you're never banned. You're never blocked. You're always welcome to say what you will. Just don't drop the F-bombs, yeah? I mean, if you drop an F-bomb, it's not really acting like we do. If I drop an F-bomb, something has to have happened badly because you don't get that here. No, you don't. Now, top players in the game. You're talking Lautaro Martinez is definitely going to be one. Angel Di Maria, Julian Alvarez. And Alvarez is a secret little, quiet little weapon. Big Man City weapon too, but he doesn't get the claim. But boy, look at his numbers. Go online and check his numbers. Alvarez, Julian Alvarez. Check his numbers. He's definitely on the money. Emiliano Martinez is going to be big again. Remember I told you he gathers the ball, he steadies the ship, he directs the flow, he tells you what's going to happen next. Last game, game before. Every game he's been on for Argentina, that's the guy you got. Brilliant brain, great hands, big mouth, but he can back it up. And that's what I love about him too. He's furious. He won't let you go. Now, here's another thing. Lionel Messi's going to factor in this game too, but has he really factored in as much as you thought he should do? Has he really? I don't know. Ask yourself a question. Is he going to be at the 2028 Copa America? Because that's the next one, yeah? Because 2026, nada mente. 2028, yeah. 4 years from now, will Messi make the 2028 Copa America? I don't know, you know. I really don't know. Now, the game is going to be the typical South American cat and mouse, skill kills, and the clever mind and the quick wit, and the guy that it can really cement the simulation the best. DePaul. Terrible, that last game by DePaul. I hope he can bring up a little bit more, toughness. Let's just put it that way. And then play the other guys, like show the guys some respect. Don't just flip-flop. It's just not cool. But, hey, the referees, they're going to tell us what to do, aren't they, eh? They're not going to allow anything. They're going to book every time, aren't they? So, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be this South American final that we all expect and that we all love. Because it's not just about the ball. It's what happens off the ball. And if the ref don't catch it, too bad for you, ref, because we just got one on you. So that's what I'm saying. The game itself, when you think about a prediction, I'm seeing Argentina defend the title. I really am. And I'm thinking it's a 2-1 job. If it goes to penalties on a 1-1, I wouldn't be surprised. And I'll tell you now, Colombia is well in this game. Top goal scorers for Argentina: Martinez, Lautaro Martinez on 4. Julian Alvarez, Lisandro Martinez, Lionel Messi, both on 2, on Lionel Messi on 1. Stats in the Copa America. Just the Copa America for Argentina. This is what they've done so far, yeah? 5 games in, 4 wins, 1 draw, 8 goals for, 1 goal against. Just the 1 goal against. That goal came against Ecuador in the last game. And I'll tell you what, Ecuador should have won that game, but they blew it in the penalties, 4-2 to Argentina. Let's take a look at the form books, Colombiano style, or Colombiano stilo Colombiano. Hey, before we get to Colombiano stilo, take a look at my predictions. I'll get right back to you. And then we had Brazil going out to Uruguay, which wasn't so bad for my money, which lines up 2 big semi-finals. The first semi-final, Argentina taking on Canada. I'm going with Argentina, and I'd be happy if I was wrong again. And in the semi-final, I'm going with Colombia over Uruguay to take that out. And I'm sticking with my original pick that Argentina will retain the champion and stay champions. And there's a picture of me back in 2004 with Ian Hume down at Swangard Stadium. So, yes, I'm sticking to my predictions. I've not changed a thing. I've got one game to go. And if, yes, Argentina do win it, then I got it all right. The only thing is, I didn't know that Brazil were going to not make it. I thought they had more in the tank, and thus Colombia gets to be the second opponent, yeah? Because I thought it might have been Brazil. But there you go. Argentina's in the final. I'm not changing my pick. I'm sticking with it. Let's take a look at the form books. Estilo Colombiano, Colombian style. So, Colombia. This is Colombia's second final. Dos. They lost in 75 and they won in 2001. So, 23 years ago, they get to win. This is where I want you to pay attention. Colombia, right now, is 29 games unbeaten. Last time they lost was February the 1st, 2022. That's over 2 years ago. That's way over 2 years ago. Who did they lose to? These guys. These guys. They lost 2-0 to these guys 2.5 years ago. That'd be a great score for Argentina right now. But tell you, 29 games unbeaten? Is it going to be 30 games unbeaten? Or will it be 29 games and then beaten? Because Colombia's coming into this with some massive form. Keep an eye on Colombia for the next World Cup to go far, because I tell you what, they've got team and destiny written all over them. If they don't win titles and they don't win trophies, they're going to get into the meaty stage. They're going to get into the quarterfinal stage, and then maybe Lady Luck runs out, but they're not going to be teams that go out of group stage. They're going to get into the busy end of the stuff, yeah? So, top players, Copa America. John Cordoba, Luis Diaz, Jefferson Lerma, Daniel Munoz, and obviously the man himself, James Rodriguez. Hey, they're all doing pretty damn good. Now, the game itself, like I say, it's going to be a typical South American battle. It's going to be cunning. There's going to be some fakery. There's going to be some simulation. It's all trickery, and it's all part of it. And I got to be honest with you, with a smug smile on my face or a sarcastic little smile, I do enjoy it. It's a case of whether you can understand it and work through it, or whether you are the sucker every time. Canada, we got to wake up to how the game's played sometimes, because the simulation that is played on us, you can play that on other people too, you know. It's not just a one-way street on that game. But we like to think that we have to play, you know, tie, collar, zipped up, you know, everything correct. You don't have to. It's a different world on the pitch. It's a different world in the stands. Anyway, prediction. I do think this has got 1-1 written all over it, although I do tell you 2-1 to Argentina. I got to tell you, 30 games undefeated, that has got to make you think that Colombia is not here just to make up the numbers. 1-1, possible penalty kicks after 120 minutes, because there will be extra time in this game, should it be required. Goal threats. Who's on fire for Colombiana? Well, we got quite a few on two. John Cordoba, Luis Diaz, Jefferson Lerma, Daniel Munoz, all on two, and James Rodriguez is on 1 goal. Stats at the Copa America for Colombia, same as Argentina when the form books look at it, but one big difference. Yes, 5 games in, 4 wins, 1 draw, 12 goals scored, 2 against. Not like Argentina, 8-1, 12-2. Still unbeaten, yeah? And who scored on Colombia? Pretty simple. Paraguay and Brazil. Paraguay with the 2-1 loss, and Brazil with the 1-1 draw. Like I say, this is going to be tight. It's definitely advantage on a slight edge to Argentina. But Colombia, unbeaten in 29, have a great shot. And a second title is definitely possible. This is going to be a really interesting game. The only way it's going to be a bad final is if someone jumps into a 2-0 lead and dominates, and it looks like the other team didn't get out of bed at all. If someone doesn't show up as a team and it goes to 2-0 at halftime, that would be a sad thing, because this competition deserves a final that goes to 120, that goes to the penalty kicks. and it finishes 3-3. That would be a fantastic final, no? See or not? I would think you'd like to see that. But as a neutral, I'm going to enjoy it. I hope you do too. Let's move along and talk a little bit about that European thing that's coming off over there. That's Inglaterra y España taking England, taking on Spain. Let's have a butchers. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. You might not like it, but you're going to hear some funny shit. Oh, yeah. Now, just some funsies just to finish this off, because this is England and it's Spain. And I'll tell you what, before we go into this, I think Spain are the favourites to win it. I don't see how you could look either other way. Yes, they've gone through the tournament quite perfectly when you think about it. And they're a team that doesn't make much noise, very intricate passes. Do they play the game that I like to watch? No, they don't. They play this chess-styled Guardiola new era football. I've talked to many TD, technical directors, and they hate this new style. And they wish the game could go back to the old game, because what it's doing is taking out individuals. Before this new Guardiola style football was evolved, your individual players stood out more. They don't anymore. Anyway, looking at it tactically, looking at it with the focus that the Spanish team bring, you got to say you're looking for Spain to win this one. It could be a 2-1, it could be a 3-1. If it goes right for Spain, it's a 3-1, and they'll go about business without making it look like they're working when they're moving forward. When they're in defense, yes, you can see that they're working hard to keep you out. And they're going to have to. I mean, what happened in the last game? Hey, it's going to be very interesting to see how they cope with that newfound form from England. Can they keep that form going? But we're talking Spain for now. I fully expect the Spanish to go into this as the favourites. I fully expect them to come out with a title. I really do. I think they've got the mentality to win. And that's key when you're going for all or nothing. Winners bring that nasty edge. They bring that lethal edge. And they'll do what they need to do to get it over the line. You've heard me talking about Copa America with the simulation and using the referee on your side. You'll see the Spanish use the referee like they do in Copa America, like they do South America, like they do in Central America. Because there's a certain way you can work the referee on your side, get him to be on your side. So they're going to look for that, and they're going to use it. And they're going to make all the cunning and all the fakery, like other teams do in South America, to get the best out of England. So a little tap on the shoulder, it will look like you just literally fired a howitzer through them. They'll probably die 3 feet. So it's all going to be over-exaggerated. That's what they want to do, and that's what they'll do. England, on the other hand, they'll need to stop behaving like they do. Otherwise, they will fall foul of little fouls like that. And it may be costly when you're thinking inside the 18-yard box. That's the penalty area, by the way. So anyway, I tell you this, like I say, Morata, definitely looking to be a guy that's going to get things done. But will he be well marked and silenced by that English defence? You've got to say, Guehi's played well at the back there for them. Hasn't really put a foot wrong. John Stones has done very well quarterbacking the team at time. Kyle Walker's not done too bad either. Trippier's done pretty decent. Working through the midfielders with the weak part of England. But when they put 2 banks of 4 in front of Pickford, they've been pretty tough to break down. They've been pretty tough to break down because they've come up against teams that have played a similar style. Spain do not play anything like England. It's black and white, night and day. It's nowhere near the same formula. England's got to sort that midfield out to actually get the better of Spain on this game. There's no doubt about it. The diamond for me is probably the worst that they could bring. I think a flat 4 or a 3 in the middle would probably work better. 4-2-3-1, perhaps? Maybe 4-3-2-1. You can alternate it. You can alternate the 3 and the 2. 3 in front of the 4 when you're defending. 3 behind the 2, moving forward up to the 1 when you're attacking. So it can oscillate, it can move. That's nothing new. You've seen these guys tell you, we know the formations. We know they come with a formation. We know we have to switch our formation a few times. And when you're watching England, they've switched formations a few times too many in the earlier stages because they're playing safe. Well, in that last game, they didn't play safe. They came out through, not caution to the wind, but they wanted to play in your half, not their own half, kicking at a ball around the back line all game long. You didn't see him do that too much. Yes, it went across the back line, but it was swept out to the wings as fast as possible. It was dumped into the middle for Bellingham, who really didn't play well, but it dumped into Bellingham and the likes of in the middle just to pass it around and shoot it back to the defense, then go wide, recycling that ball in their half pretty much, and then going forward. They were lethal on the attack. They're going to have to be lethal again, and they're going to have to play with freeness. And I would say this, shockingly, I wouldn't start Harry Kane. I'd start Ollie Watkins. Absolutely. I'd start Palmer. They bring more life, more excitement, more diversity into the play. And that's the only way you're going to trouble Spain. If you go at it with Harry Kane, you're not going to get much done. Harry is not versatile. Look at the difference that Ollie Watkins made when he came onto the game. Within 10 minutes, he'd scored a goal. He was making runs that Harry Kane can't do. Is he injured? They're saying he's injured. They're saying he's carrying something. Well, if he's injured, sit his ass down. Let Ollie Watkins get in there and do the business like he did. The joy that that young man had on his face when he scored that goal against Holland late in the game was absolutely there for everyone to see. And the discipline he showed to take his time while watching the show pony, Harry, carry on, and of late doing nothing much. Yeah, I can stick a penalty away from that distance. So could you. But you know what I'm saying? I'd give Ollie the chance. I'd give Palmer the chance. Bukayo Saka, bring him on. Keep him there, man. Let that confidence ooze. The only way England lose this is by being scared and not showing up. And will it be a ball that batters the living heck out of that lion and throws all three lions out of the ring? Or are they going to get around that ball and chase him out the ring? Because I tell you what, you're going to have to be brave to win, because only the brave will win this one. And again, the final thing about this final is the mentality. There's something over there called a badge. There's something here that you can hardly see, but it's 1 star. It's 1 star. The little song, 1 star, we've only got 1 star, we've only got 1 star, we've only got 1 star. England, 1 star, we've only got 1 star, we've only got 1 star. You get it, right? That's a World Cup. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home. That's what you're talking about when you're saying it's coming home is a World Cup. You shouldn't be bleating about a European Championships and saying it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, because it's a nothing big trophy. It's the intermediate trophy. It's not the big one. All the time they're singing about it's coming home since 1996, not winning one since 1966, which is 58 years of pain, yeah? They're talking and singing about the World Cup, not the Euros. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. And if you are fooled by England fans, it shouldn't be that way, because perfection is about winning the big one. That's what's coming home when you're singing about it, yeah? But if you want to be appeased with the intermediacy of the junior titles, how are you ever going to get to the level where you win the big title? And that's what I'm saying. Final to me, Spain's the winner. If England win it, it'll be a great thing for the English fans and for myself too. But I won't rejoice it as if it were coming home as a World Cup. Just what I'm saying. It's coming home, it's coming home. Nothing's coming home. Anyway, moving along. Head-to-head, Argentina before we shut the door on this one. And I tell you what, you've got some games this weekend to enjoy. And down below, make a comment down below, please. And hey, Poets of the Week, you were massivo. But head-to-head, Argentina taking on Colombia is 25-8-9. 25 wins for Argentina, 8 draws and 9 wins for Colombia. Do you want to know the big scores? All right. Argentina battered Colombia 9-1. What year? 1945. But in a return match, many years, Colombia in 1993 battered Argentina 5-0. Yes, a whole 5-0. So anyway, as we move out of this one, guys, I want to ask one last thing. Drop a comment down below how you've enjoyed the Copa America shows so far, and this being the final one as we move on. And tell me who your final winner's gonna be. Is it Argentina or is it Colombia? And Canada fans, what's the score gonna be between Canada and Uruguay? And England fans, are we gonna win this or are we not? And do you agree that it's the big one that should be coming home that's celebrating and not this intermediate trophy? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, get ready for a nail biter. Which way? Canada, we made history and it was a fantastic tournament. I'm looking forward to another big game. I hope you are too. I really do. Don't be down because, you know what? We went further than we thought to go. Yeah, we should have had 3 games and on the bus and out of here like 2 World Cups, No wins and not much joy. This one was the biggest group phase we've ever had. Yeah? I know you can say the Gold Cups are big, but come on, man, really? Come on, lady, really? This is the biggest it's ever going to be, right? So, tell me what you're thinking. Get ready for the nail biter. Like I say, we've made history. Let's hope we make more. And if we do make more, hey, it's just making our stats look so much better for FIFA and everything else around the men's team. And Jesse Marsh, love you, man. Keep asking for more players. Keep going to the CPL games because Canada needs a coach that cares. Right? Right. 500 show down. This is 501 down. Looking for 502. And the next shows is going to be me taking a 2,500 kilometer road trip over and through and by the Rocky Mountains all the way to the West Coast, Canada, to watch Wrexham take on Vancouver. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy the games. We've got lots of fun. I tell you what, this has been an absolute bloody blast. I've had so much fun with this. I really have. And I'm going to do it again and again and again. The next big thing we're touching is that road trip. And then after that, we'll be into League One, Wrexham AFC. One more time, one more season, and a whole lot of other stuff that goes along with that too. Even international breaks. Guys, enjoy the games. Drop a comment down below. Tell me what you're thinking. And tell me the score. Let's have it. Cheers.